Hello, good morning everyone. How are we all doing? Game week 37 deadline stream. Just 2 weeks left. The big double left. I always want to call it the big double game week, but game week 34 actually had more doubles. So that was in theory the big double game week. But to me, this is the big double because it's the last one. It's where loads of us are playing a chip. It's where like Man City, Chelsea, to be fair, I would say normally it's like Liverpool, Arsenal, but it's not so much. Maybe it's not the big double. But anyway, the final double of the season. 2 weeks left. And yeah, we're here. We've got injury news to some quite important players, which we will cover at the beginning of this stream as well. So yeah, we'll go through all of it. Before we do, let's have a look. Let's say hello to some of you in the chat. How are we? Yeah, let's say hello to. Let's say hello to some of you in the chat. Why a live stream when we know your transfers? Well, I'm here to help you with your questions as well as to make my transfers. We also might get Manchester City team news just before the deadline as well, with them being the early kickoff, which could impact my transfers as well. Hello, Tyler, Brolo, Steve, Chris, Prism, Zach, Lucas, Andrew, Mr. Was Up, Merck, Frank, Russ, Tiger, Carty, Diggler, Ruben, Goldstones, Jay, Baron, Immortal, Jordan, James, Alf. Hello to all the members and moderators in this morning. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you for those of you wishing congratulations as well. Cheekster, good morning. Good morning. I hope you are well. How are we? FPL Alexander, JP, JJ, Chris, Viren, Jason, Karte, quiz member, D, Simon, Paul, John, Gian, Julian, Akshat, hello, Effie, Ash, Sai, Pizza Bobman, and Dylan. How are you all? How are we? Saturday morning, we have 2 hours to the deadline. Manchester City are the early kickoff. So, first of all, just to cover a little bit of injury news, Bruno Fernandes is apparently back in training. Although, yeah, so apparently the Northern Lights were out in the UK last night, except if you live in London because of the pollution. So I didn't see them, and I've only heard about it this morning, but apparently other people did. But anyway, Bruno Fernandes is back in training, although no one's actually seen a picture of him on grass. So there is a little bit of that no one's actually seen it, and we are just taking Ten Hag's word for it that he is back in training. But yeah, he said he's back. I'm not going to be selling him, basically. The other one is Richarlison, and the Richarlison one is really weird. So Ange had a press conference on Friday morning where he said there's no one injured. And then about 3 hours later, the Brazilian coach ruled out Richarlison of the international squad because he was injured. It just seems like a really quick turnaround that Ange did. Like, what happened? Like, did Ange not know about the injury before the press conference? Did Ange know about it, but they didn't have it like fully reviewed and stuff, so didn't want to say it in the press conference? Or is the Brazil manager actually saying we haven't put him in the squad because he was injured in the last international break, so we didn't want to pick him because we haven't seen him play? Which is all a little bit of like doubt in my mind. I think it's fair to say you wouldn't buy Richarlison now. And you probably wouldn't buy Bruno now either, just because I don't think Man United are playing particularly well at the moment. I think that's fair to say. But yeah, there is part of me that looks at that Richarlison thing and think, Why on earth did Ange not mention it? Like, what? Like, the fact that Ange didn't mention it and makes me wonder a little bit. Pizza Bob is saying it's because he's having surgery after the end of the season. Like, all of these things could be true. All of these things could be true. So, like, he could end up playing. He could end up playing. He didn't necessarily say that he's out. But then, like, the Athletic are reporting that his season might be over. Let me see if I can find it. The Athletic FC Richarlison. Yeah. Let me get it up on here. So, like, for the Athletic to start reporting on it is... Yeah, Spurs are not, like... Spurs, Richarlison likely to miss rest of season and Copa America with calf injury. So for the Athletic to be reporting on it, it makes me think that it is an injury and it is a current injury. Oh, I don't have an account. I can't read the whole article, but if anyone does and wants to tell me exactly what it says. So this is the issue why it's quite hard. I definitely wouldn't be buying Richarlison. It's just if selling him's worth a hit or you want to take the gamble that he does play in the end. I probably wouldn't take the gamble, but is it worth a hit to sell him? It depends who you can buy. Like, we'll keep an eye out on anything because Spurs do play today, so we might, I don't know, we might get something. But it does look like he's going to be injured. It does look like he's going to be out. But then it's just weird that Ange didn't say it. It's just weird that Ange didn't say it, which is what creates the doubt in my mind a little bit. But Amin, thank you for joining as a base tier member. Maybe they want to hide their cards before the City game. Maybe, but we'll know because he won't be in the team today. Like, they can't hide their cards for the City game when he just doesn't play today. Like, yeah, I don't know. So, to talk briefly about my transfers for this week, just before we do that. Callum, how are we doing? Good morning. Congrats on another consistent season. Thank you. Just 2 weeks to go. And congrats on the proposal. Thank you. Who would be second best captain this week, assuming Haaland is one? Probably Palmer. Isak, Son are all pretty much the same. So if you don't want to captain Haaland, I'd be picking one of those three. Do we expect Fernandes to play one game? I think he'll be at least in the squad for both, if not starting both. Yeah, they've said it's not yet made official by the club, but at what point is the injury happened for Ange not to talk about it in his press conference? Should I get Wilson, Jackson, or hold Solanke? I definitely do Solanke to Jackson if you can. Absolutely. So, my transfers this week, let's do it on FPL.team, the plan is Ederson to Petrovic. And I'm not actually, I think I'm about 75% sure that I will do Dallo to Gvardiol. Now, part of me does just wonder about doing like Ben White to Gvardiol instead and just keeping Dallo for the double. And part of the reason, well, you'll be like, well, you need him in game week 38. The issue is I might not because I could just play Gabriel, Gvardiol and Porro on the final day and then just not have a double up on the Arsenal defence on the final day. Because if I have like Ben White in this slot, I then have a benching headache in defence. That's the thing. And then my transfer, let me put Dalot back in here. Either way, my transfer on the final day will likely be like Fernandes to a Saka or a Havertz. So something like that. So I don't actually need the double Arsenal defence on the final day. But is it better? What's better this week? What's better this week? I suppose the other thing is we might get to the final day and like if Spurs have nothing to play for, I would say might Porro not play, but they don't have any defenders, so Porro basically will. If the season's over, maybe Gvardiol doesn't play. So it does help to have a little bit of a backup, probably. So which is why I'll probably sell Dalot instead of sending Ben White. But part of me just wonders, you know, just take the extra fixture, hope United score, and don't give yourself a benching headache on the final day. Should I get Wilson? Yeah. What transfer would I make? Your team is Petrovic, Ederson, Dalot, Burn, Porro, White, Gabriel, Foden, Son, Palmer, Fernandes, Isak, Jackson, Haaland. You have one free transfer. I would roll. Your team doesn't need a transfer. Yeah. I mean, you're missing a midfielder in there. Bertox, but I would probably roll. Does Madders sound legit instead of Son? No. Madders has been pretty horrific. If you can't get to Son, don't just force a Maddison move. I would... Like... I mean, if it's the only double you can get, but I'd probably buy Pascal Gross before I bought Maddison at the moment. If I'm honest. So, yeah, no. Maddison is a strong no for me based on performances. Now, if Richarlison is out, it might force Maddison to play. So then maybe you do just go with it. But yeah, the way he's playing at the moment, I would just not be confident in that at all. And you wouldn't want him in, like, I know he's got Sheffield United on the final day, but yeah. What's better, Angel of the North or Statue of Liberty? Angel of the North. I'm biased. What am I in the Content Creators League? So there's one on FPL Gameweek, and I think I'm 4th in that at the moment. Yes. Do I think Malo Gusto plays? Yeah. So let me cover Gusto. I spoke about Gusto in... Sorry, my camera is cutting off the top of my head very slightly. There we go. And it's just done again. We spoke about Gusto in my final decisions video yesterday. I said in my video I'd be surprised if he plays twice. I don't think we change a winning team having just won 5-0. I don't think Poch has that in him. Personally, I don't think Poch has that in him. Now, he might play the second game. What I did say on Gusto is don't just sell him to another defender if you're not going to use up the Chelsea spot elsewhere unless that defender is Gvardiol, Burn or Porro. Now, if you're going to sell Gusto, which frees up a Chelsea spot to buy Palmer, Madueke or Jackson, then yes. Then in those situations, I would sell Gusto. The other confusion I have on Gusto from yesterday's press conferences now is Poch saying Reece James is ready to play some minutes, right? So then what? Does Gusto then not play at all? Because if I don't think Gusto's going to start, then they both can't come off the bench, really. They play the same position. So what? Does Gusto... Then it made me think, well, maybe Gusto does start and then Reece James replaces him. Or it makes me think, well, maybe Gusto doesn't start and then, you know, he doesn't play at all. So basically my point of view is if you can use Gusto to get to Jackson or to Palmer or to Madueke, then I would. But if you're just going to sell him for another subpar defender, then I wouldn't just sell that. I think Gusto's a risk. I'd be very surprised if Gusto starts both in the double, for sure. I'd be very surprised. But I posted it on Twitter and a lot of Chelsea fans disagreed with me, so... I am a Chelsea fan, so I hope I have a little bit of know-how on it, but yeah. Chalobah, yeah, he's 4.3. You could go with that. I mean, yeah, I'm not sure I'd be buying it, but it's fine if you're looking for a cheap defender and you don't have triple Chelsea. Yazan, bench boost active. Would I minus 12 for an injured player? Yeah, so if you're on bench boost, unfortunately, you just need to sell all of your injured players for a hit. Now, some of you might look at think, well, if I sell Maguire, is the defender really gonna score 4 points? Maybe not, but I probably would take the gamble on it. I probably would take the gamble on selling all your injured players. Reguilon and Doughty out, Chalobah, Porro in for a hit. I'm not sure Reguilon out for Chalobah is worth a -4, given how good Brentford have been. I would definitely do Doughty to Porro. And if the other one frees you up the money, then yeah, do it. Otto, -4 to get rid of Aït-Nouri or Saka, bench boost. No, I just play both of them. They're not worth... Don't sell any Arsenal players this week, unless they're injured, but none of them are. So I do expect Saka to play as well. I expect Saka to play. Edison to Vicario, Dallo to Gvardiol -4. Yes, I probably would do that. What transfer would I make? Your team is Petrovic. If you're on bench boost, then I mean Van Heck needs to go, and probably Muniz needs to go as well. I spoke about some cheap options in my video the other day. Calvert-Lewin, if you don't have the money, I would want to try and get to Jackson if you can, but you've got Salah, so you probably can't afford it. Thank you for the congratulation messages as well. Richarlison to Gordon, Shah to Romero. Yeah, I probably would do that. Gordon's a great buy this week. Gordon is a great buy. 30 points, Ian. 30 points ahead of your mini league. Your opponent has template wildcard 35. I will do Salah to Foden this week with 1 free transfer. Would I take hits to change any of Areola, Gusto, or Garnacho? I mean, I don't know how much money you've got. Can you do Garnacho to Son? I'd probably do Zabani to Porro for a hit. That's probably the only one I'd force. Yarang, with Chelsea defence doing well last two, I don't think Poch will disrupt that. That's my personal opinion. 2 clean sheets and basically an unchanged team. Sorry, I'm just going to shut the window. Van Heck and Maguire both. Sorry, one sec. I just need to check something. Will Livramento start? So, on the Newcastle defence, Trippier is raring and ready to go. I just don't think you can buy any of the fullbacks, basically. I don't think you can buy any of the fullbacks. Sorry, one sec. Sorry, there's just a video of Spurs training that I just want to watch. It's really short though. And I think loads of players are missing. Yeah, loads of players are not in it. Doesn't mean anything. You want a Chelsea defender? If I had to buy one, I'd buy Cucurella. What to do with Bruno? I just keep him now. I'm definitely going to keep him. Getting one of KDB, Foden, sell Bruno or Saka though. Someone asked me this. I just think Saka outscores Bruno in game week 37 and 38 combined, so I probably would sell Bruno. There's also no guarantee he plays all of the last 3 as well. And I probably would just buy Foden. I mean, if you can go, it depends what your rank is, right? If you're chasing, then go De Bruyne. If you're holding, then go Foden. Saka, Diaz, and Dubravka to Foden, Gordon, and Ederson. I mean, yes, let's wait to the deadline. Part of me worries after the performances that Ederson might not start, but I think he will. I don't see why they drop him at this point. Gallagher's a good shout, yes. Gallagher is a good shout. I just would buy Madueke over him. Reece James apparently has tweeted. He has. See you at 5:30. That would imply he's in the squad, by the way. That does not imply he starts. Please don't go buying Reece James. Please don't go buying Reece James. Saka to Gordon or Taylor to Van der Ven. I mean, I'd be tempted by both, but definitely the defensive transfer. Get rid of Taylor. Don't go buying Reece James. And I'm not sure I'd buy Trippier. If you're really chasing, Trippier is okay, but yeah, I wouldn't go buying Reece James. I don't think he's going to start either in the double. Can we replace Bruno with Madueke? You definitely can. It's a fine move. Like, I did consider it. If Bruno was out, that was going to be my transfer this week. But with Bruno back, I'm just not sure it's worth a transfer. Gusto and João Pedro out is very, very common. Burn and Jackson in, yes. I just do that. I do Burn and Jackson. And that's what I was talking about with... That's what I was talking about with selling Gusto if it allows you to get Jackson. He also was quote tweeted by Chelsea with the captaincy armband. Yeah, but that's because he is our captain. Like, he's our club captain. So, again, I wouldn't read into it more than you need to. That's just them saying, oh, you know, our captain is back. But yeah, I mean, it's a great boost. It makes me very happy to know that Reece James is back. Yeah, good stuff. Hopefully I just hope they don't do anything stupid with him between now and the end of the season. He shouldn't play more than 60 minutes between now and the end of the season combined, let alone start a game. Like 20 at a push, right? Don't bother. Let's just have him ready for next season. Our team's playing well enough without him. We don't need to force him back. Can you bring in Madueke? Absolutely. I really like him as a pick. I really like him. Suggesting you go Zabani to Porro. You actually have enough money to go to Trent instead. Nah, I'd go Porro over Trent. Definitely. I'd definitely go Porro over Trent. I wouldn't be buying Liverpool. The only Liverpool player I'd consider buying between now and the end of the season is probably Salah. I mean, if you wanted to go for like Trent on the final day at home to Wolves, then like it's fine. But I think there's going to be more important things to do. So, yeah, let's hope. That's good news on Reece James. Positive boost to my morning, that. Need a cheap mid, Rice or Gross? I'd probably go Gross. If you don't need them on the final day, I probably would go Gross. I haven't made my transfers yet. No, Manchester City are the 12:30 kickoff, so I will be waiting for that. The plan is Ederson to Petrovic and Dalot to Gvardiol. Will give me a bench boost. I think Bruno is my weakest attacker. Like, trying to be honest with my bench boost. I think Bruno is my weakest attacker because of the form and because we don't know he's going to start. And I think Vicario is probably weaker than Petrovic. I mean, this actually says that Petrovic is weaker, but I think based on having double Spurs defence, I would bench Vicario if I wasn't playing my bench boost. So, congratulations. Thank you, Meg. Best Maguire replacement for 4.3 on bench boost. You have 3 City and Chelsea, or take a -4 to get Burn and downgrade Porro or Fernandes. I'd go Kraft if you can. He probably should play both. I mean, the chances... I mean, he might not. The other one is just going Webster. It's probably the safest buy is Webster there. I probably would just go Webster. I mean, they don't really have any other centre-backs, Newcastle. But, I mean, can Trippier play centre-back? Can they play a back four of Burn, Trippier, Livramento, Hall? I think it's very unlikely. So Kraft should be good, but... Johnny Evans. I mean, I wouldn't do that. I'd buy Webster over Evans. Free Muniz to Welbeck. Keep Gusto and Maddison, or -4 Muniz to Jackson and Gusto to Livramento. I'd do the Jackson move for a hit. I'm not sure I'd go Livramento though. I just not sure. Like, it's possible that he goes Trippier in and still keeps Lewis Hall at left back. Can someone remind me, has Lewis Hall signed his permanent deal at Newcastle yet? Or not? Richarlison injury. Like, we think he's injured, but there is a possibility that he just turns up because the press conference quotes have been lost in a little bit of translation. Yeah, the other thing with Kraft, as Clonlad said, there's a small chance that Shah's back for the United game. So, like, the Richarlison quotes have been lost in translation a little bit. Hall is a done deal. Have they announced it? Yeah. I mean, I don't know whether that impacts whether Hall's going to play or not. That was my only thinking. Still on loan, fine. But he will be permanent. So, yeah, with the Richarlison one, I wouldn't buy. The issue comes, would I sell for a hit? Kind of depends how much you believe the injury news. If you can buy, you know, a Gordon, a Madueke, a Son, a Foden, then I probably would sell Richarlison. But there is always a chance that he just rocks up. There is that chance. Drew, Turner, Maguire, Gusto, Muniz out for a -12. Probably, yeah, I probably would. Oh, Hall's already met the criteria, fine. Other injury news, Nick Pope. I expect him to start at least one in the double. Bad news if you've got Dubravka. Does Saka start? I fully expect Saka to start, and I fully think it's mind games with 2 games to go. I don't know why, but I fully expect Saka to play. He's played in much worse scenarios. Before. Saka or Wilson. I mean, if I could play Wilson this week over Saka, I would, but they play in different positions. Can you please tell me to captain Palmer or not? I mean, if it's me, I'm telling everyone to captain Haaland. Like, we saw it last week. Haaland was top of my captaincy ranking. And he will be there again. And I will... If you want to go against him, fine, but you are taking a massive risk. Palmer, Isak, and Son are the 3 other people I'd consider captaining. Jandre, sorry, you're 20 points behind your mini league rival with the exact same team. 2 free transfers. Would you do Son, Gvardiol to KDB, Van der Ven? Do Foden to De Bruyne and Bruno down to Johnson? I'd probably rather that than the selling Son move. I'd rather just sell Bruno. I think that's some way you can get ahead if you're trying to chase. I'd rather do the Bruno to Johnson move. Would I start Saliba or Gusto? I'd probably play Gusto if it came down to that. Sorry, I am just updating something. Someone in the chat kindly pointed out. Right, where were we? There we go. Do I think Alvarez gets many minutes? No, he'll probably be a sub in both games, so maybe 50 minutes. So I wouldn't buy Alvarez, and I'd probably sell him. Bruno Guimaraes, you can't afford Son. No, I wouldn't buy Bruno Guimaraes. I'd buy Gordon, probably. But yeah, I don't see Bruno G as an option. Is Richarlison fit? We don't think so. Pickford to Petrovic for a hit. No, I wouldn't do that. As long as your other keeper has a good fixture in Game Week 38, then no, I wouldn't. If you need them for 38, then maybe. But probably not. Cheap defenders for Maguire and Van Heck. Yeah, Branthwaite, Van de Ven, Webster. Those are the top three. Dalot versus Dunk. I probably wouldn't buy Dalot, so I'd buy Dunk. You need 1.7 million for Haaland. I mean, Porro to Van de Ven or something like that. That probably doesn't free up quite enough. 1.7 is quite a lot. You'd have to do quite a significant... Like, I'd sell Bruno in my team. Bruno, Gusto to Cucurella, Gordon. Yes. No, like Gusto to Cucurella is not worth a hit. Bruno to Gordon, I probably would do Bruno to Gordon. Garnacho to Gordon for a hit, like, probably. It's not going to be much in it, though. Free hit punt, here we go. De Bruyne and Foden, no Gvardiol. Haaland, Isak and Wilson, no Gordon and Jackson. I mean, it's differential. It could go really well. It could also go horribly wrong, but... It's probably something to take a gamble on if you're on free hit. Isaac captain over Haaland. I don't hate the Isaac captaincy. Again, you are taking on Erling Haaland, who did just score four goals. They are chasing down a record 4th Premier League title in a row. So I wouldn't, you know, you're hoping that the prediction of what's expected to happen doesn't happen, because what's expected to happen is Haaland is the highest scoring player this week, and that's why a lot of us are captaining him, and that's why he'll be my captain. Salah or Saka out for Foden. I'd probably sell Salah, to be honest, over Saka right now. Well, no, maybe not. Maybe I'd sell Saka, because then you can go back to like Havertz on the final day, whereas you might want Salah in 38. And because there is a slight doubt over Saka, Daniel, I'd probably sell Saka before Salah. Pedro to Welbeck, DCL or Beto for free. Definitely not Beto. I'd probably take the punt on Welbeck. I don't love it, but I probably would buy Welbeck. Welbeck was higher up my ranking in my video this week than Branthwaite. Shaw, Salah. Oh yeah, we've done that one. Cool. Thoughts on Petrovic, Gvardiol, Branthwaite for Vicario, Dalot, Van Heck, -4. Yes, I quite like that. You have Van Dijk, Gusto, Garnacho, Slanky, 1 free transfer. Should I take a -12? I wouldn't take a -12. I do Solanke to Isak or Jackson if you don't have those. And to free up the money, I'd sell Van Dijk. So I'd probably just sell Van Dijk and Solanke. Do we expect Man City team news before the deadline? We are hoping for it. Would I do Munoz to Porro as your second hit? I'm first in your lead by 10 points and second owns Porro. Yes, I probably would then. Again, like, it's worth mentioning when you ask questions, and thank you very much for it. We're at the point now where some people are not playing overall rank FPL, they're playing mini league FPL, and there is a difference between them, because naturally, Munoz de Porro, I would probably say no in terms of a hit, but when you're playing mini league FPL, like, in terms of you're just fighting for leagues, you don't care about your rank, then the person below you having Porro, then it's probably worth it, because then you're blocking that and you don't even put yourself in a position where the swing could go one way or the other, that you're both just going to get the same swing. So in that situation, yes. Saka to Son for a hit, probably, because you'll want Son on the final day, and you can probably go Havertz in 38 then, or find another route back to Saka. Triple captain or bench boost. If you've got both left, I would bench boost this week. Triple captain in 38 would be the way I would go. Hang on a minute. Oh, so yeah, fine. Tripled up on with Petrovic already. You can't get Jackson. All right, then you have to sell Gusto. Then you sell Gusto instead of Van Dijk, and keep Van Dijk. Jackson's on 9 yellows. It doesn't matter anymore. He's past the 32 game criteria, which you have to get the 10 yellow cards in. So Jackson cannot get suspended for yellow cards. He could, of course, get sent off or something. But yeah, he's past that yellow card suspension a few weeks ago, which is why everyone started piling on him. On a free hit, Wilson in a 3-4-3 or Gordon in a 3-5-2. Again, it depends what your rank is. If you're chasing, then go Wilson. If you're not, going Gordon. If you don't really care, I'd go Gordon out of the two. -8 while you're still in the cup. If you're -8 to get Haaland, I probably would do that. If it was me, yes, I'd want Haaland this week. You know what happened last week if you didn't go with Haaland, and it's amplified this week with it being a double, that it could go weekly wrong. Knowing how trends happen, everyone will be worried about Haaland this week, and it probably won't happen, being 2 away games. But yeah, after last week, it's too much. Is Porro the best bet? Again, he's right up there in terms of my top. He's second for my defenders behind Gvardiol. I don't think Reece James will start. But I think we might see him back in the squad. Fernandes or Madueke. I wouldn't sell Fernandes to Madueke. But I'd probably buy Madueke over Bruno at the moment. Yeah, I know Reece James's tweet on Twitter. I think that means he's in the squad, but I don't think it means he's going to start. Bruno replacement for 7. Can't get Spurs or Chelsea. Gordon. 2 free transfers. Ederson and Maguire to a 4.7 goalkeeper and Gvardiol. Yes, I don't know if you can afford Pickford with that. If you can't go Pickford, I'd probably just punt that Verbruggen of Brighton plays both games and hope he does. You could also go Areola as well. Keep Dubravka. I mean, I'd look to sell him if you can, but only if you can go Ederson, Vicario, Anana, Petrovic. Yeah. No Oscar today, so you're hanging out here. Welcome, halftime. I'll take as good care as possible, and then I'll hand you back to Oscar. There were 3,300 of you watching, and I haven't even asked any of you to like once this stream, and we've been live for 45 minutes. So, just a little plug. If you haven't liked already, please could you do so? We could definitely hit 1,000 with the amount of people in here. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do. Welcome. So yeah, please do drop a like on the stream. Thank you for those of you who have just done it. Thoughts on Gabriel to Colwill? I wouldn't buy Colwill at all. Definitely not. Nope, nope, no. Richarlison for Johnson? Yes, I probably would. Any tips for Eurovision? When is Eurovision? I quite like Eurovision when it happens if I'm watching it, but you're going to tell me it's like tonight, isn't it? I thought it was... Oh, it is tonight. Who knew? Who knew? Bruno Maguire to Madueke, Porro, or Johnson Cucurella. I wouldn't go Cucurella. No team news yet. Oscar is on a stadium in Barcelona. Yeah, I'm jealous. I love Barcelona. Barcelona is one of my favourite cities in the world. If not top. I've only been once. But I loved it. I loved it. I didn't see the Northern Lights, no. I didn't see the Northern Lights. Would I do Havertz or Saka? As you have both Foden and them. I mean, you probably have to sell Saka just because he's a doubt. But if you don't need to sell, like if you're looking to sell, you know, Saka or Havertz, I'd probably advise selling Saka because Saka's a doubt and Havertz is playing up front. But I wouldn't naturally, if people in the chat are wondering what to do with Saka, I think he'll play, so I wouldn't sell him. Who did I vote for player of the season? Cole Palmer. And there is reasoning behind that. Like, I'm not just... I mean, I'm a little bit Chelsea biased. A little bit Chelsea biased in there. But I also... People are saying, like, you know, we're 6th, we're 7th. You shouldn't win player of the year. But it's player of the year, not team of the year. It's not best player from best team of the year. Like, that's not what the award is. Like, the award isn't just see who wins the league and give it to the best player in that team. That's not what the award is. The award is who has had the best season in the Premier League. Of course, if you're giving it to who is actually the best footballer, you're not going to give it to Palmer, right? Palmer's not the best footballer in the Premier League, technically. But he has had the best season, in my eyes. We would be 15th without him. Honestly. Watkins, I fully am up for Watkins getting it. Foden, maybe. Yeah, fully up for that as well. I honestly think it should be Foden, Palmer, or Watkins. I mean, Rice has been really good as well. Yeah, Watkins should definitely be considered as well. Watkins is right up there. I mean, they're all good. They all should be considered for it. Apart from, like, I hold my hands up. I just don't know how Van Dijk's in it. Yeah, Gordon should be in Young Player of the Year. They need to reevaluate Young Player of the Year. Like, it should be like breakout season of the year, or it should be something different because, like, you've got Foden and Haaland in the nominations for it again. So yeah, Fernandes and Davies to Johnson and Dunk, or Davies to Van der Ven. I just do Davies to Van der Ven. You have bench boost active and rivalry on your free hit, considering Van Heck, Saka, Cunha to Romero, Foden, and Wilson. I probably would do it. I probably would do those moves. Yeah, I probably would. Bruno replacement for 7. You have 3 Chelsea, Spurs, Chelsea. Do you have 3 City as well? I'm going to give you 2 answers, Alex. I think you've already asked that, and I said Gordon, and then yeah. If you can go for a differential, no, I probably wouldn't do City unless it's Foden, and Foden's too expensive. Probably Gross. You could punt on Bowen at home to Luton, right? But I probably would punt on Gross. Chasing your mini league by 9 points. Your teams are nearly identical. Maguire, Disasi, and potentially Bruno to White, Dunk, Madueke. Yes. I would. He has Bruno. I probably would take that gamble. Because Madueke also is good for game week 38. News on Bruno. Nothing apart from apparently he trained, but no one's seen a picture of him training. So it's a bit weird on Bruno, I have to admit, but we'll see what happens. Would I do Fernandes to Son for a -4? Probably not. Like, there's no hope I sell Bruno for a hit. No chance. I mean, I do have triple Spurs, so it's a little bit different, but... My best guess around Fernandes' minutes would be 180, probably. Oh, what's happened to the... Probably. The best guess is if he's been in training that he'll start. And if he's going to start, then... I know Chelsea have posted Reece James's tweet, but they're just posting it because they want to celebrate him being back. Not because they're confirming. There's no way Chelsea Twitter admin has been given the license to confirm that Reece James is starting. What is this? 7 hours before kickoff. No. William, congratulations on your engagement. No worries. Thank you very much. Who would you transfer in, Romero or Burn? Probably Romero, because he's also useful on the final day. Thank you all for the kind messages, everyone. Thank you. Keep Dallo or sell to Romero. If you can do it for free, I'd sell. I wouldn't sell him for a hit. Hey.
Hello.
We're getting lots of nice messages.
That's cute. Thanks, everyone.
Holly's come to say hello. Are you a bit hot?
No, I'm fine.
Oh.
I've come to say hello and to ask you who to captain.
I've replied to your text.
But don't ask my family because I don't have any advantage.
Well, you don't have Haaland.
Well, I didn't know where to go Jackson, actually.
Oh, yeah.
But then that's going against Forest, and that's not great. So maybe I'll go...
I sent you a few.
You sent me about 5.
Oh, yeah. Foden, De Bruyne, Son, Isaac or Palmer. All are good captaincies. Right. Chat, out of these 5 players, who would you captain? H, come say hello.
Can you go back a bit?
Who would you captain?
Uh,
Foden, De Bruyne, Son, Isaac or Palmer. Or Jackson.
Where is your camera? Oh.
There.
Okay. I don't like camera shy.
Hi. You're just in the corner.
Yeah.
Isaac. Foden, Palmer, Isaac, Haaland.
By Isaac, do we mean Isaac?
Yes, Isaac.
I didn't know how to play called Isaac.
Yeah, Isaac. Palmer, Isaac. There's lots of mixed emotions. Probably Isaac more than anyone.
Right, I would never have gone him.
Isaac and Palmer are the top 2.
Is that because everyone does not have faith in Forest?
Yeah, probably.
What are those little number 1s?
Oh, it's just like data and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Has everyone got Haaland in their team?
Yeah, everyone has Haaland.
I don't have him. I didn't go for that option.
Yeah, I gave you 2 options. One to buy Haaland back and one if you didn't want to, so...
That was too much. I had to take a -8.
No, a -4.
No, a -8.
Do you only have 1 transfer?
Yes.
Oh. Oh.
Okay, well, I'm going to go now.
All
We're
right.
going out now.
You're going out?
We're going to the fabric shop.
Going to the fabric shop?
Yeah, my life is so
wow,
exciting.
super exciting.
So exciting. Bye, everyone.
Bye. They're going to the fabric shop. That's super exciting. She loves FPL now. Now that Forest have got promoted. Although she didn't love it last week. She captained De Bruyne, and she wasn't best pleased with it. I think it's safe to say she wasn't best happy. She was like, well, I don't want to play it. Don't want to play this game anymore. Where were we? Yeah, she's gone now. She's going to the fabric shop. 4.6 to spend on a defender. Best option you have burned. Probably Branthwaite or Van de Ven if you've got a spare Spurs slot than Van de Ven. You didn't think there was such a thing as a fabric shop. Nor did I until recently. Nor did I. If you're getting old, it's not for us. Holly's mum sews. So they are going to the fabric shop in London. Which is why it was news to me. Wedding dress fabric. It is not wedding dress fabric. It is not. It is not. One day, soon, but no, that is not the aim of it. Anyway, let's do some questions. Maguire to Edison, Petrovic to Gvardiol. You can't afford Dallo. Yes, definitely. Gvardiol is definitely better. FC Finney, yeah. So Van de Ven or Branthwaite. Van Heck, Gusto, João Pedro to Burn, Porro, Jackson. Van Heck, Gusto, João Pedro, Burn, Porro, Jackson. Yes, I would. De Bruyne and Pedro Porro or Gvardiol and Bruno. I mean, probably De Bruyne and Pedro Porro. Isaac or Cole Palmer captain. I'd probably go Palmer, but there's not much in it. You've got both Bruno and Maguire. I'd keep Bruno. I'd sell Maguire. I'd just keep Bruno unless you need the money or something from it. Is Johnny Evans nailed for Man United? I'd honestly buy a player with a single game week over buying Johnny Evans. Fizzer. Dubravka, Matters, Gusto, Muniz to Anana, Nicholas Jackson, Gordon and Romero for -12. Oh. I'd honestly leave out the goalkeeper one and hope you get a game from Dubravka. Madison to Gordon. Gusto. I'd probably do the others. But I'm not sure I'd do the Dubravka. Unless you need the Newcastle slot, in which case just do them all. Triple captain, Haaland. Triple captain. Is Bruno available? I mean, apparently he trained. No one has actually seen him training. No one's seen a single picture of him in training. But Zayed, thank you. Drop me a message. And yeah, again, your support this season has been absolutely crazy. Thank you very much. Hope you have a good week. Hope your team is sorted. We answered it in the members stuff. So hopefully you're there. Again, yeah. Thank you very much. Zayed, have a fantastic weekend. Let me put subscriber only mode on. You literally have to subscribe for 1 second to start using the chat, but we are 1 hour to the deadline. So is my bench boost active? It is. Please, everyone, before we even get to the deadline, go very quickly and check that your chip that you are playing is actually active. Go and check that it's actually active, because there will be someone after the deadline who comes back and says, I forgot to activate my chip, or my chip isn't active. Is there anything you can do? Who should I contact? Please don't let that be you, because there is nothing you can do if you don't activate your chip before the deadline. The answer, unfortunately, in those situations is, sorry, there is nothing that can be done. So go and check that your chip is active now, and then I'll remind you closer to the deadline as well. But please go and check it. Please go and have a look now. What to do with Gusto? So a few times. So on Gusto, I don't think he starts both in the double. My advice on Gusto would be to sell him if it allows you to use your Chelsea spot elsewhere. So if you're doing Gusto to a Van der Ven or even a Webster, but it allows you to go and bring in Jackson as your second transfer, then I would do that in those situations. But if you're just going to do Gusto to Cucurella, I probably wouldn't do that. I mean, if it's free, then maybe. But if it's for a hit, I wouldn't. Really tempted by Trippier, despite thinking he only starts one. I mean, his attack and returns have been mixed. If you only think he starts one, I would definitely go Burn. The only reason to buy Trippier is if you think he starts both. Avinash, hello. Bench boost 37, 2 free transfers, 1 million in the bank. Suggestions. Will Gusto, Saka, Pedro start? Pedro needs to go. And Gusto. So I would do Gusto, Saka, Pedro out. You have to sell Gusto to get the Jackson spot because you've got Petrovic and you've got Palmer. So I'd do all three and I'd go Foden, Jackson, and if you've got like a Romero spot, then I'd go Romero, which I think you do. Is Haaland worth compromising Bruno and Son? Probably, if he's going to be your captain. I don't mind compromising Bruno at all. It's how you feel about compromising Son, and I prefer Haaland to Son. So, Areola or Verbruggen, Gvardiol in for Edison Maguire. Yes, I probably would take the punt on Verbruggen. He's just definitely their best goalkeeper now. Like next season, Verbruggen will just be their goalkeeper. I'm pretty certain of it. So he'll be an interesting one for next season because I think he'll be 4.5 again. So yeah, I'd go Verbruggen over Areola because also Luton have got to get a result in that game. So I think they probably score. Branthwaite or Webster? Branthwaite. Hey Harry, Maguire to Webster. You don't have enough money for anyone else. Other options, Walker to Gvardiol, Maguire to Emerson Royale. I'd probably take the punt on Emerson Royale and go Gvardiol. Again, if you're buying City players now, just wait 45 minutes until the deadline and hopefully we get some news that he might start. If we get no news, I'd still buy him. It's just if we get news that he doesn't. It's just if we get news that he doesn't. You have Maguire and Davies. Both need to go. 2 free transfers. Yeah, so I wouldn't sell Bruno. So it's Webster, Van der Ven, and Branthwaite are my top three. 13 points behind leader in your league. He has 14 doubles. You have 8, no bench boost. I mean, I wouldn't captain Isaac or Palmer over Haaland just for the sake of it, Router, but I think that's going to be a difficult week for you. I mean, if you really want to, then probably Isaac because Palmer is away twice, but any news? Nothing yet. Isak versus Palmer are my top 2 differential captains. Isak, Palmer and Son. It's very close between the three. Just with Isak not necessarily being on pens now if Wilson plays, would probably give it to Palmer. Will Kraft play both games? It depends if Shah comes back. There is a chance that Shah plays the United game based off what Eddie Howe says. It's a small chance, but it is a chance still nonetheless. Last week you did Bruno to Saka. Is it worth to do Saka to a double game week player? I wouldn't sell Saka unless it's for Unless it's for Foden, De Bruyne, Gordon, Son, or Palmer. You're hoping last week might be the week, so Haaland is your choice so far. Yeah, I wouldn't just captain differentials really for the sake of it if you do think that Haaland is the best point scorer this week. Linton, Gusto to Porro, Saka to Foden, Solanke to Jackson. Probably. It's just whether Saka to Foden's worth a hit. I mean, you'll probably want it. So, yes. I probably would. Based off Saka being a doubt and everything. Dubravka and Saka to Vicario Gordon for a -8. You need the Newcastle slot. Yes, definitely. I mean, Dubravka to Vicario is probably worth a hit in itself, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. So, yeah, I probably would. Richarlison injured, apparently. Yeah, that's what we think, but it's possible that the manager was just speaking that he's been injured a lot or he's going to have surgery and he's actually fine. There is a small chance of that. But do I like Livramento? Not really with Trippier back. Just to... Oh, sorry, DeAndre. Chasing Bruno, Foden to De Bruyne. Johnson, yes. I'd probably go Tarkowski and just hope he scores. No, if you're chasing, I'd go Webster and just hope for a miracle with Webster over hoping for a miracle with Tarkowski, probably. Thoughts on bench boost game week 38? I don't hate it, but a lot of the injured players are likely to still be out in game week 38. So you're probably just going to give yourself an issue next week. If you get rotation, then you're just going to be forced into hits to fix it because you can't push it further down the line. So I would play it this week. Tarkowski to Van de Ven or roll. I'd probably roll. Doesn't feel like a good use of a transfer. I'd rather have 2 on the final day. No bench boost. Start White or Dallo to Burn. I'd probably do Dallo to Romero. If you've got Porro, then do Burn. If you don't, then go Romero. And bench White. I'd probably take the chance on it on no bench boost. Non-bench boosters have just got to hope that Man United score. Bring in Petrovic or Vicario. Probably Petrovic. If you've got Porro, definitely Petrovic. Just don't double up on the defences this week. No one's massively predicted clean sheets. Let me see if I can get up. There we go. So I used these graphics in my video yesterday from someone called RobTFPL on Twitter. Go and check them out if you don't. Very useful graphic. So it gives you the percentage chances of a clean sheet and stuff. And what's really interesting is both Arsenal and Everton have higher clean sheet odds than Man United and Brighton. Now, if you play 2 games, you get double the appearance points. You get double the chance to get an attack in return. So there's more to it than just the clean sheet odds. But the odds really don't back Man United or Brighton for any sort of clean sheet. Harry, if Forest beat you tonight, can we have a Forest emote? I'm hoping it gets to the point where Burnley and Luton both lose today and that game doesn't mean anything. Really. And we can just settle for a 1-0 Chelsea win and we'll all walk off happy. That's my hope, is that we get to that game tonight and Luton and Burnley have both lost. Third City slot, Gvardiol or KDB? I mean, I prefer KDB over Gvardiol, but I think Gvardiol is better for squad structure. So, probably Gvardiol. Would I swap Edison and Dallo for Anana or Vicario and Gvardiol? Yes. Vicario. I probably would, James. It's basically the same as what I'm doing, but I'm going Petrovic. There's not much between Vicario and Petrovic this week. Petrovic is actually predicted to be scoring less points this week than Vicario. But I would, if I was not playing my bench boost, I'd bench Vicario because I've already got Porro. 8 Nori and Areola to Dallo / Dunk and Verbruggen or Nana. I don't think 8 Nori to Dallo or Dunk is worth a hit. Areola maybe, but I'm not sure either are really worth hits, so probably not. Same starting 11 as me. You're leading your mini league by 14. Garnacho, Saliba, Gabriel on the bench. I mean, I wouldn't take hits for to sell any of those, Alex. I'd probably just roll with it as it is. Hope you carry your 14-point lead into the final day. Saka or Johnson to Foden from -4. Probably Saka. Because of the Richarlison news, I think Johnson probably starts both. Nothing in terms of any news as of yet. We're almost at 1,000 likes. Thank you all very much. Please do like the stream if you haven't already. Saka or Johnson to Foden for a -4. Covers your mini league. We did that one. Dali. Petrovic, Kelleher, defense. I mean, the top rankings of players to buy in all positions are going around in the top right. So if you're interested in who you should be replacing players with and whether I prefer Vicario to Petrovic or etc., the rankings are updated all in the top right-hand corner for you. So check them out. I wouldn't sell Branthwaite or White to Burn. No. I would just sell Kelleher if you're on bench boost. Start Richarlison or Jackson. Definitely Jackson. Definitely Jackson. Good morning. What I do, Walker to Gavardio for free, I'd do it if we get to the start of the stream and if we get to the deadline and we don't get news, he doesn't start. Any news on Trippier worth a hit? I probably wouldn't. If you're taking a hit, you just want the minutes, I'd go Burn. But maybe Trippier does start. I'm just not confident he starts both after such a long time out. Son to De Bruyne for free. For free? I'm not sure it's a good use of a transfer, if I'm really honest. Unless you're chasing rank, then go for it. But I don't think it's... There's just no... If you've got nothing to do, then... I mean, I don't know what midfielders you've got, Alex. Garnacho to Madueke, maybe. Or Saliba to a doubling, like Romero or something. But I don't know the rest of your team. Yeah, so there's no real news on Nick Pope. The only update we've got is... He looked much better this week. I would be surprised if he doesn't start at least one in the double. Does he start both? Does he start today? We just don't know. I'd say prediction is no, but it's pretty close. I'd say my projected games for Dubravka is about 0.6 and Pope is about 1.4. So I give that a 60% chance that Pope does... 60% chance that Dubravka starts today. I know it's sitting on the fence a little bit. Would I do Walker to Vardy for free? I probably would. When you look at those games, like, he's just playing on the wing, basically. He's just playing on the wing, basically. Triple captain Haaland or bench boost? I think bench boost is better this week, but it depends on your team. Do I sell Fernandes to Gordon? I'd do it for free. I wouldn't do it for a hit. Isaac and Gordon start. Team News FPL is just like, who are these accounts? I mean, they're also Isaac and Gordon. Like, it's like me tweeting Haaland starts. Crazy. Imagine Isaac and Gordon both starting. Crazy stuff. I missed your super chat, sorry. Have a similar team to yours, but Anana, Gvardiol and Petrovic in place of Edison, Vicario and White. Can't find anything to do. Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, you could do Anana to Vicario if you've got the money. I probably prefer Anana over Vicario this week. Bench boost is active. Yes, there's a little blue line here, which is really difficult for everyone to see, is the bench boost active. Bench boost, you can cancel it. Fancy a punt on Bruno to Saka? No, I don't. I'll be buying an Arsenal midfielder in Game Week 38 most likely because I can't get to Salah. Everyone will be buying either an Arsenal mid or Salah on the final day, basically. How come you haven't done Petrovic and Gvardiol? Because City are the early kickoff. So I'm just going to wait and see if we get any news on him starting. As if FPL Tony has had his team leaks sponsored. As if he's put ads on his team leaks. Respect the hustle. Oh, wow. If I was currently number 1 in the world, would I reveal your team to us knowing that it might cost you? No. I wouldn't. I would reveal most of it, but not the transfers I was making. I'd have my team up on screen and then I'd just have I just do the transfers on my phone. That's if I'm number 1 in the world, but I'm not though. So apparently Haaland, you'll be shocked to hear that Erling Haaland apparently starts for Manchester City. Should I go Bruno, Maguire, Edison to Johnson, Gvardiol, Pickford? Yes, I probably would. No. Yeah, I do just the Maguire move, Hutchman. I don't think Bruno to Johnson is worth a hit. Bench boost active. You have Triple City, Chelsea, Newcastle. No Spurs defence. Have Gusto. Zinchenko, Darwin to maybe take out. Okay, I mean, I'd sell Gusto, Zinchenko and Darwin, and I would get Jackson and at least one Spurs defender in there. Yeah. I know, groundbreaking stuff on Haaland. -4 for a Turner replacement. Yes, if you're on bench boost. Yes, if you're on bench boost. Who do I go for? Emerson Royale or Van der Ven? Definitely Van der Ven. Just, there's a chance that Emerson Royale just doesn't play because he's not been very good. Would I do Bruno to Madueke for free? Yes, if you don't want to use your transfers on anything else. If you don't want to use that Chelsea spot elsewhere, then yes. Yes. Bruno to Johnson, no hit. I mean, I probably wouldn't. Just doesn't feel like a good use of a transfer, if I'm honest. What if Foden is benched? I'll just keep him. I won't be selling Foden. Because I can't get to... I can't get to him. Vicario, Maguire to Gvardiol and Dubravka. Yes. No, I wouldn't buy Dubravka, no. No, don't buy Dubravka. Don't buy any Newcastle goalkeeper this week. News on Pope. Yeah, just that he is getting very close. I expect him to start the second game. It's just whether you think he starts the first one or not. I wouldn't be buying either Newcastle defender. If you've got Dubravka, I'd probably sell him if you can, but I'm not sure I'd do it for a hit. No team leaks now. Solanke to Jackson for a hit. Solanke to Jackson for a hit. I probably would do. Shaw, Bruno, Pedro for burn. Garnacho, Jackson, -4. Yes, I would. You've got injured players in there, so yes. And I presume you need the Bruno transfer to get the money, so yes. Hoyland to Jackson for a hit. Yeah, I don't like Hoyland at all as an option. I'm hating the way that he's being involved in that Man United team from an attacking point of view, so yes. Ben White. If you have no bench boost, I play Ben White. I play Dallo over Ben White. Gordon's not a must, but he's a very good option. No news on City yet, apart from Haaland. We're still 40 minutes away from the deadline, so we're not expecting that very much. Do we think Ake starts both? Probably. That defence is looking so good at the moment. I'd be surprised if stuff massively changes for them over the last few, unless they win the league early. Pickford or Onana? I probably would go Onana and just chance it on the double. Dallo to burn, yes. Will we get Newcastle news? I don't think so. Why isn't it letting you use a chip? You can only play one chip at a time. You can only play one chip at a time. That might be what's causing the issue. Who's triple captain to chase? I mean, triple captain is a differential in itself, so I would probably still stick it on Haaland. If you want someone else, maybe Isak or Palmer or Son. If Richarlison is badly injured, why didn't... Because apparently it happened on Friday morning. Apparently it happened in training on Friday. But we don't know. You've got to remember there's a time difference, right? Because the Brazil manager said that he got told on Thursday night. But that Thursday night, like, Richarlison could have got injured on Friday morning UK time and told the Brazil coach then, I'm not going to make the squad. Like, it's possible. It is a weird set of timelines, though, I have to admit. I'd be really interested if it is true what the timelines are, because, I mean, the Brazil manager, doesn't, need to give exact timings of when stuff happened, but it all is a little bit weird. I don't think Livramento starts both. I don't think you can be confident on that at all. Best goalkeeper under 4.5. I'd just go for Bruggen and hope he starts both games. You could go Areola if you don't want that, but I'd probably go for Bruggen. Will Foden start? I mean, I think so. 4.2 defender, I'd go Webster. If it's Leach that Gvardiol is benched, I will do Ederson. I will either do Ederson and Dallo to Walker and Petrovic, probably. This would be the team I'd field if I wasn't on bench boost. I'd bench Vicario because I don't want double Spurs defence. And I'd bench Fernandes because I think he's my weakest attacker. And I'd bench double Arsenal defence. This is the team I would play if I was not on bench boost. I think Ake will probably start both. But you never know with Pep. If Richarlison doesn't start, it will probably be Kulusevski, Johnson, Son with Maddison behind. And I would still go Johnson and Son as the best two options there. Best Lascelles replacement, you have Gabriel, Dallo, Porro, Gusto. Probably Romero. It depends what you've got. The top defenders are ranked there. And if you can't get... if you've got options for others, then maybe like a Romero to double up. But I didn't want to just put 3 City of my top defenders to buy. My top defenders to buy would probably be Gvardiol, Porro, Romero, Burn, Van de Ven. No, I prefer Romero to Van de Ven, but Romero is just much cheaper than Van de Ven. Sorry, Van de Ven is just much cheaper than Romero, so some people can't afford Romero, and I think Van de Ven is a very decent alternative. Will Gusto start? I'd be surprised if he starts more than one game. I'm not confident on it at all, really. Henning, 2v transfers, bench boost, 6 million in the bank. Højlund and Gusto out to Jackson and Shah out to Burn, Porro and Jackson probably. Edison to Onana and Dalot to Gavardio. Is that a hit? I probably would. Because I just don't like Edison and I like Gavardio a lot. Bruno to Gordon or Madueke. I'd probably go Gordon first. Again, if you're chasing rank, maybe you go Madueke. You probably go Madueke. If you're chasing, if not, go Gordon. Raya or Onana. For this week, Onana, but if you're buying one, Raya because of game week. If you need them in game week 38, you go Raya. Sorry, someone just asked how to join as a channel member. I mean, I will have my hands up. There's only 1 week left of the season, and there won't be many perks over the summer apart from if you plan on playing Euros Fantasy. Then there'll be a little bit of stuff there. But if you go on my channel, there will be this join button. So once you've subscribed, you have to be subscribed first. Then there'll be this join button, and then that will give you the 4 options. Any leaks? Only the Erling Haaland start. The good news about that tweet is that it implies that he's gonna leak the team. It implies that he's going to leak the team before the deadline. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I think it bodes as good news. Gabriel to Romero. It feels very luxury. If you've got another Arsenal defender, then maybe. But if it's your only Arsenal defender, then I wouldn't do it. Good goalkeeper below 4.4. I mean, you're looking at Areola or you're looking at Verbruggen of Brighton. And hope that Verbruggen plays both. He's playing the majority of games at the moment. And he's just better than Steele. Nori to Romero. No. Nori out for a hit is not something I'd do. You signed up to NordVPN with Harry this week. Things you'd love to see. Hope it's useful. I actually use it. And I know they sponsor my channel, but I use it all the time. Particularly when I travel. I've got it on every device. Who to replace Dalot with? You already have triple Chelsea, City, Newcastle and Spurs. Then I probably wouldn't. I'd just keep Dalot. Like, Dalot's not the worst. He's not the end of the world. He's not the end of the world. If Man United scores, you will have 4 points from 2 players on the bench. Yeah, it's a little bit concerning, but my bench next week is no better. My bench next week is double Newcastle. It'd be Gordon or Fernandes, depending on which one I don't sell. Burn away at Brentford, and then Vicario and Porro. And as soon as one thing goes wrong, I'm suddenly down to a few players. So, yeah. Sell Son or Bruno. I'd sell Bruno before I sell Son to. Focal, how are we doing? You woken up on your stag do. Hope you're feeling all right this morning. Hope you're feeling all right. I am jealous of you being in Barcelona. I'm sure you're doing lots of touristy stuff. That's what tends to happen on stag do's. After calming down, you decided to go for Gvardiol and Areola no hits and hope for the best. Probably sensible. How much worse is Isak than Haaland for captaincy? I mean, a little bit, and then you just hope you get lucky on it. I don't think... I mean, I wouldn't do it, but if you're chasing massively, then you've got to accept the risk-reward that comes with it, right? 1 free transfer, and Mbumo to Johnson to Shah and Mbermo to Romero. I mean, you've got to sell Shah if you're on bench boost, but I wouldn't go Bruno Guimaraes. I wouldn't go Bruno Guimaraes. I just realised Oscar's probably trying to reply to me, and I've realised that he probably can't because he's on because of the slow mode. Got Foden, Bruno, Palmer, Gordon, and Richarlison 2 for -4. Got 3 Chelsea. I mean, you could go Brennan Johnson. You could just do a Spurs swap. Triple captain Haaland or bench boost. I'd bench boost, and probably start Gordon, but doesn't matter if you're on bench boost. Would I do Garnacho to Gordon for a hit? Probably. Am I keeping Bruno? Yes. I am. Any news on lineups? We have no news on lineups yet. Apart from Haaland. Garnacho, Virgil, Son, Romero for -8. I would do Garnacho to Son, and then I'd do the other one if you need the money, but I wouldn't do the other one if you don't. Bruno Maguire. I would just keep Maguire. Keep Bruno. Yeah, I'd keep Bruno. There's no need to sell Bruno unless you need the money. Gusto to Cucurella for a hit? Absolutely not. Nope, I wouldn't. Is Saka injured? I fully expect Saka to play. I mean, I might be wrong, but we've seen this how many times with Saka and Arsenal. And Arsenal in general. Maguire to Livramento or Maguire to Burn and Dalot to Van der Ven. I'd probably do the hit because I don't think Livramento starts both. You'll just feel much more confident with Burn and Van der Ven than Dalot and Livramento, personally. I mean, I would. Maguire to Romero. Yes, fine. So Edison to who to get Gvardiol? I mean, Petrovic, Vicario, Anana, Pickford, Verbruggen, something in that order. Richarlison update. We don't have one. We just got to presume that the Brazil manager was telling the truth that he is injured now. But it's possible that he was referring to a different, like the fact that he's going to have a surgery after the end of the season, or that he's, was injured over the past couple of international breaks. So, Mitch, how are we doing? How are we? I wouldn't sell Fernandes. I'd just keep him. I'm keeping him. I mean, the only thing is, right? If let's say we get news that Gvardiol doesn't start, then maybe I do sell Bruno. And then I have 4. Can I get Branthwaite in here? Yeah, I mean, I could do that. If Bruno doesn't start, I could do that. If Gvardiol doesn't start, I could just not go City defence. So, yeah, let me talk you... Sorry, I was reading something in the chat that was confusing me. So my initial plan is Edison, to Petrovic, Dalot to Gvardiol, right? And if we don't hear Gvardiol is benched, then I will just do that. We don't hear bad news on Gvardiol. Like, if we don't hear that he starts or he doesn't, I will buy Gvardiol because I think he starts. If we hear that he starts, of course, I will do it. But if, let's say we hear Gvardiol doesn't start, I could do Bruno to De Bruyne, Ederson to Petrovic, and then I just have to free up the last money. So it's Dalot out to probably Branthwaite. No major news yet. No, nothing. Apart from apparently Haaland starts. So I could do that. I mean, that Branthwaite position could be... I mean, it can't. I've got triple City, triple Newcastle, triple Chelsea, triple Spurs. So it's either... I mean, it could be like Webster. I probably would just go Branthwaite. That's what I'd probably do if Bruno... If Gvardiol doesn't start. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm not. I'm just planning for all situations of what I might do if Gvardiol doesn't start. I'd probably take a hit and buy De Bruyne. We have no... the only City team news we've got at the moment is... oh, wait. There's an issue with this. Oh, Tony's tweeted, are your teams ready? The issue with this, actually, is I can't... What would I do in Game Week 38? I'd have no Arsenal. And who would I bench? I'd have no Arsenal attack. I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. But yeah. I'm just hoping Gvardiol starts and then I'd have to think about it. I mean, if Gvardiol starts, I mean, I could just burn a transfer. I probably would... I'll want a Chelsea defender, though. Cash. 2 free transfers and triple Chelsea, City, Newcastle. Dalot to Romero. I'd go Romero over Branthwaite. I just think Everton, it's their last game at Goodison Park, right? They've won 1-0 all season. They want to be a little bit exciting. And we saw the other week, with Sheffield United being relegated, they're a little bit more attacking. If you, again, those who are wanting to do the membership, if you go on my channel, there's a join button there, and then it will give you everything you need. I would just bear in mind, as much as I love those asking about to sign up to a membership, like, I want to be honest, there will be very little membership content over the summer. Unless you're playing Euros, then there'll be a little bit, but there won't be loads. So you might want to wait until July, when we'll be back up and running. Or if you just want to support the channel, then that's very kind. But just thought I'd give it as a word of caution. Triple Arsenal defender. I mean, I probably wouldn't, because I want an Arsenal attacker next week if you can. What to do with Robertson? I mean, I'd sell him for free. I wouldn't sell him for a hit because you'll want him in Game Week 38. Chance of Kivior playing? I mean, I'd probably sell Kivior. Would I put Havertz in for any of my midfielders? No. I mean, maybe Bruno, but no. I wouldn't move out Bruno for it. Saka or Bruno? This week, Bruno, but over the last 2 weeks, Saka. Am I playing UEFA Fantasy for the Euros? I will be playing UEFA Fantasy for the Euros, yeah. There won't be loads of content on it, but I will be playing it. And we'll have like a league and stuff. Darren is not. You're looking at the wrong source. please, if you guys start seeing stuff on Twitter, instead of, oh wow, Darren, I would apologize. So it begins, everyone. So it begins. And before I show any leaks, we know that the leakers have not been 100% right over this season. So there is, of course, the chance that they are not right for game week 37. Okay? Just going to put that there, that all the leakers have been wrong. But they're saying there's no Kyle Walker. So if you have Walker and we hear that Gavardio... Okay, so it's all starting. So apparently no Walker. Apparently Edison does start. Haaland does start. So you don't need to sell Edison. If you've got Walker, I would do Walker to Gavardio if we hear Gavardio starts. What's my plan if Gavardio's benched? Yeah, what's my plan now? I was going to buy Walker. I mean, I could just keep Edison. I was gonna buy Walker if Gavardio. Surely Walker and Gavardio don't both not play. That does worry me a little bit that there could be rotation for Gavardio though. Reguilon and Edison to Gavardio and Vicario worth it. Yes, definitely. But wait, it looks like we're gonna get a lot of City team news. We're still 20 minutes, or only 20 minutes before the deadline. Keep Edison and Dalot and then go Bruno to Madueke if Gavardio doesn't start. I mean, I could do that, but I do want a Chelsea defender. I want a Chelsea defender. So do I go De Bruyne for a hit or do I just go... I mean, if we get nothing on... If we hear that Gavardio also doesn't start, then I will just take a hit and I'll go De Bruyne, probably over Bruno. Neto, João Pedro, Gusto there. Triple City, Newcastle, and double Spurs. Neto, Gusto out for Jackson, Vicario. I'd go Jackson, Onana, Romero. Keep Saka or sell to Gordon for a hit. If you can go back to it in 38. Let's wait and see. League update. So we've got Edison, we've got Walker out, and we've got Haaland starting at the moment. You're starting to get the looks of panic in my face. I can feel it. Sell Bruno or Saka for Foden. I mean, I'd probably prefer to sell Bruno. A Kanji I could go with. He's been starting, just not very exciting. Who's captain? Probably De Bruyne. I mean, it depends if De Bruyne starts, but I fully expect... I'm so surprised. I just thought the team would just go unchanged, but it's Pep, right? I should have predicted something. We've got no news that's not City at the moment. Yeah, I know. Andy's plugging his stuff under the stream. Gotta love the hustle. Hit for Jackson, then bench boost triple Arsenal, or yeah, I would take a hit for Jackson for most strikers. Is Dubravka's spot safe? Absolutely not. I fully expect Pope to start at least one game. Andy's asked, he said Andy can pick the next player, and he's asked for Foden. So let's see. Walker to Gvardiol. If we hear Gvardiol starts, then yes, I would do Walker to Gvardiol. Connor. Should I sell Dallo or Gabriel? I'd sell Dallo, probably. That's my plan. I'm going to sell Dallo. Webster or Veltman, I'd probably go Webster. Bruno to Gross for free. No, I wouldn't sell Bruno unless you need the money. Watkins to Jackson, Garnacho to Gordon, Van Heck to Porro for a hit. Yes, I would. Sponge, thank you very much. Roll or Dallo to burn. I'd probably do Dallo to burn. If you've got issues that you think you might get in 38, then roll. But I think it's probably worth the transfer. You might only gain 1 or 2 points from it, but it depends if you've got stuff you think you'll need on the final day. Like, I look at my team on the final day, and I've already got benching headaches. So I've got a way to combat rotation if that happens, because I've got a strong bench. I'd go Onana over Verbruggen. The only reason I'd go Verbruggen is if you've got 4.5 or less or under Pickford. If you can't go to Pickford, then I'd go Verbruggen. We are 12 minutes from the deadline. Lewis Hall or a Kanji? Probably a Kanji. Nothing in the bank and 2 free transfers. But you have to sell Maguire. But you've already triple Chelsea, City and Newcastle. I'd probably just go to Webster. I'd probably just do 1 to Webster. Rather than doing the Bruno out for a hit move. And I wouldn't be buying Maddison. I'm keeping an eye out on any... any news or anyone tweeting. Haven't had anything for a minute. So I will be doing, unless we hear that Gvardiol doesn't start. Then I'll do the Petrovic and Gvardiol in for Dallo and Ederson moves. Should I replace Wilson with Isak? I probably would. I think Isak is much better. Apparently Walker doesn't start. I'm going to reply to him saying, Gvardiol, please, next, boss. He said Foden starts. He said Foden starts. Please don't, I know there are people sending like injury stuff in the chat. Please don't believe anything. If you see something on Twitter about an injury to a player, please tag me in it, but or tag me in it or send it into my DMs. And while you're here, drop a like on the stream, subscribe if you are new as well. Dallo for someone from Chelsea, no hit. Yeah, probably Cucurella would probably be the one I'd advise. Apparently Walker is... So we've got Foden starts, Ederson starts, Walker on the bench, apparently. We don't have Gvardiol. I've asked him if he can give us Gvardiol. If Gvardiol doesn't start, who would I replace Walker with? Ake? Hasn't Ake played... Isn't Ake next, or is Akanji next down the pecking order in most nailed? Akanji's played pretty much every game. He came off at half-time against Palace. Ake missed a few, but I think he was injured. So it's Ake or Akanji if you need one. Will I be changing Bruno? I won't be changing Bruno, no. I won't be changing Bruno. We only have 8 minutes to the deadline. I've got to make my transfers at some point. You have Walker, so keep Dallo now and do sideways. Yes. Diaz to Gvardiol for a hit. I probably would if we hear... Oh, yeah, I probably would, unless we hear that he doesn't start. Gusto or Webster? Webster. Should I do Tomiyasu to Van der Ven? Yes. Is Walker starting? Apparently not. Chalobah is a fine buy. He should play both, but of course comes with a risk. Bench boost 38. I wouldn't take the risk. Son captain over Haaland? No, I wouldn't. I'd captain Haaland. Saka for a hit to Foden? I probably would. Now we know Foden starts. Maguire to Webster? I mean, it's not exciting, but I probably would if you don't have the money. I would keep Bruno unless you need the money to downgrade. Then someone like a Madueke. Lazy FPL apparently says KDB starts. Does he? I don't see that. Nope. I don't see that anywhere. I mean, I expect De Bruyne does, but I don't see it. Again, tag me and stuff if you see it, but yeah, I don't. Maguire to Webster or roll the transfer? I do the Gvardiol move. Should I go Livramento? I don't think I would. I'd just go Burn. Sideways City defender worth a hit. Oh, Professor Lazy FPL, the people who run FPL, they're trying to gain him some followers. Fine. Foden and De Bruyne both start. Ederson and Foden. We have 6 minutes to the deadline, and all I need is Gvardiol, please. The good thing is I don't have to worry about moving the orders around because I'm on bench boost. Am I selling Fernandes? No, I'm keeping. 5 minutes to the deadline. I feel like I just want to do it because I feel like the servers are going to crash. Oh, it's logged me out. That's not good. That isn't good. We're in. We're in. We're in. So, Dallo to Gavardio. Brennan Johnson or Madueke? I'd go Madueke if you've got a spare Chelsea slot. I'm loading them up. I just want him to tweet that Gavardio starts. I just want him to tweet that Gavardio starts. There we go. He's tweeted it. He can have a retweet as well for answering my question. Let me show you all just before I click make transfers. That is Joshua Gavardio, Foden, De Bruyne, Ederson, Haaland, but no Kyle Walker. I would do Kyle Walker to Gavardio sideways. Hassan, Garnacho or Odegaard to Foden? I'd do Odegaard because I don't want him on the final day. I'd free up the Arsenal spot. Right. Make transfers. Ederson to Petrovic, Dallo to Gavardio for free. Maybe I should sell the Arsenal defender, but it is what it is. Confirm. Ederson to Petrovic, Dallo to Gavardio. Done. Lock it in. Lock it in. Right. We have 3 minutes, so go and do your transfers, but I will spend it just answering questions because my bench boost is active. And everything looks good. Bench boost active. Let's just refresh one more time. Right, bench boost is active. Cool. Right. Gusto to Jackson for a hit. Yes, I'd go Jackson for a hit. Maguire out, bench boost this week. Branthwaite, Tarkowski, Munoz, Webster. I'd probably go Webster. I'd just take the punt on it. The bench boost is active. Remember, everyone, check your teams and check the chip is active as well. Make sure that chip is active. Walker for Gavardio for a hit. Yes, I would. I would do sideways City moves for a hit. Yes. Son or Jackson. I prefer probably Son this week with Jackson having 2 away games. Differential triple captain. Isak, Son or Palmer. Ruben or Højlund out for a hit. I mean, probably both, but definitely Højlund. Probably both. Use your second transfer to do Dallo to Romero or roll. I probably would do that move. Elise or Gordon. Definitely Gordon because he has a double. Definitely Gordon. Bruno to Son for a hit. Probably not. Madueke or Jackson. Jackson. I mean, if you're chasing rank, then Madueke. If you're not, then Jackson. KDB starts apparently. KDB starts. Bruno to Saka or Havertz for a hit. No, definitely not. Keep Bruno. Keep Bruno. I would just go Onana just because he has an extra game and he can make saves. 1 minute, everyone. The timer is down to 1 minute, so please go and check your teams. Walker or Richarlison for a hit. I'd probably sell both, but definitely Richarlison probably. And just hope the Richarlison injury news is true. If you're on bench boost, you can't take that risk. White or Robbo. White probably. Romero. Romero's fine, yeah, if you need a defender. Van der Ven also if you can't get to Porro or you already have him. Start Bruno or Havertz. I'd start Bruno. Pedro in for Muniz. No, João Pedro is injured. We'll do FPL challenge in a moment. Saka for Gordon. Cunha for Jackson. Yes. Foden triple captain. I'd do it on Haaland. That is going to be the deadline. By the time you hear this, the deadline will just be closing. So no more questions. Go and check your teams. Go and make sure everything is locked in. My team is ready. The bench boost is active. Petrovic came in and Gavardio came in for Dallo and for Ederson. This will be the deadline by the time you are hearing this. I would do the Walker to Gavardio for a hit. It's done. Goldstones. That should be that. The church bells outside my house are ringing. That is that. That is that. We'll go and do Fantasy Challenge in just a moment, but I need a breather and I need to tweet my team. So if you want to stick around for Fantasy Challenge, then that is all good. Game week 37 team lock. Edison and Dallo out. Petrovic and Gavardiol in. Here we go. Two minutes. Just got to post it. If you're going, thank you very much. We'll be back next week for the final bits of content going to Game Week 38. The season is almost over. We will be sticking around and just chatting for a little bit as well. So if you want to stick around and just do some chatting, then you are more than welcome. And we're going to do Fancy Challenge as well. Let me just post it in one final place. Sorry. There we go. Cool. Fancy Challenge. What is it this week? Players from single game week clubs get double points. Okay, so it basically means if you think someone has a really plum single fixture, then you pick them. Like Pickford. Branthwaite. I'm going big on the Everton defence. Tarkowski. Backup goalkeeper. Can just be Areola. Does Saka start? We don't know. I expect him to. Elsewhere in defence. Up front. I'm still going to take Haaland because he has the double. I'm going to take Dominic Calvert-Lewin as well. And I'm going to take... Let's go differential, shall we? Let's do something exciting. Let's take Antonio, but we're going to play... We're going to play a midfield three. We're going to take Jared Bowen in there. We are going to take Mohamed Kudus as well. We're going to go with Wang Yi-chan. And then maybe we pick... I was going to pick Rodri. None of this is particularly exciting. Let's go Foden. We need another midfielder. De Bruyne as well. You've got to go for the Bowen. How long have I meant? I got all the money in the world now. Let's just put Pedro Porro in and someone else. And for the crossover, let's go with that. Substitute there. Substitute there. Bowen captain. Love it. There we go. I imagine you're all in. Let me get you the league code. There is the league code if anyone wants it. I'm on bench boost. So that's why Bruno is on my bench. That's why Bruno's on my bench. You reckon we'll be going to Europe next season? I'm hopeful Chelsea will. I'm hopeful Chelsea will finish in the top 7. My team next week. Yeah, let's look at that. 38. So this will be my team. Sorry. I went... who did I go in here? Sponge, yes I am. Out of interest, are you going to meet afterwards? Let me know if you are. Who did I go? Gavardio. And then I didn't go. I kept Fernandez. So, I mean, it's really boring, but my transfer next week is going to be an Arsenal defender, I think. I think it's going to be an Arsenal midfielder. Yeah, the deadline has passed. So, I mean, it's either Fernandez or Gordon. Like, it's Fernandez to Saka, or Fernandez to Havertz, or I just do Gordon to Havertz. It's pretty boring. It just depends on whether I want Fernandez. It's whether I want Fernandez. It's whether I want Havertz or Saka, and whether I want to sell Fernandez or Gordon to do it. I'm happy benching both Fernandez and Gordon this week. So whichever one I don't sell, I will bench, and then it's just the defender. I will bench Vicario most likely. Play Petrovic at home. And at the moment, I'd probably bench Porro. I probably would bench Porro. Sorry, I was reading something. Yeah. Bench which attacker? They will have a nice fixture. I mean, I'll happily bench Fernandes and Gordon. So my plan would be to do Fernandes to Saka. There will be crazy players benched on the final day, though. I can't get to Salah. If I wanted him, I'd have to take a hit. And like, I'd have to do like Isak to, I don't know, like Chris Wood. I mean, I could, but I don't think he's worth a hit over just going to like a Saka or Havertz. I don't think he's worth a hit. You don't have to. Yeah, I just don't think. I don't think Salah is worth a hit over a Saka or a Havertz. And I can't get both of them without a -8, so I'm not doing that. So I don't think I will go Salah. But I also have to sell Isak. Right? So what's a better combination? Salah, Chris Wood, or I suppose I could play Gordon. Salah, Gordon, or Salah, Chris Wood, or Isaac Havertz. For me, Isaac Havertz is better. You bought Tarkowski and Munoz for Maguire and Davies. Thoughts? Fine, and Munoz is quite a good differential. He looks great. If he was at home, I would have loved the pick. If he's away, but Wolves have not been as good the past couple of games. No, Madueke, no. Madueke was only going to be if Bruno was out. You bought Taco and Munoz for Maguire and Davies. Is it? Yeah, fine. Is it worth starting Bruno in? I mean, the deadline's passed. He's fine in game week 38. Anyway, sorry, as you can tell, I need my cup of coffee and I need something to eat. So I'm going to go and get both of those things. Watch some of the football today. And then, yeah, as you can see, well, as you can't see, actually, Holly's mum and sister and one of her best friends are in London today. So we have got some, celebrations today, which are all fun. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to today. So yeah, I will be on Twitter as much as I can. Big game in our household. It is Forest Chelsea today, which I'm not pleased is in game week 37 because it's a game that actually means something for both teams. I'm hoping that both Luton and Burnley lose at 3:00 today so that we get to 5:30 and that game doesn't mean anything for Forest, because I would hate for, Luton to get a draw and us to beat Forest and it, be stressful on the final day. So yeah. And then tomorrow and then into the double midweek, there'll be a video out on Sunday. There'll be the stream next week. There'll be all the usual videos. I might even throw an extra free hit video in there. I don't know how many people have really got it left though. So I might just do it as a short or something there, but I don't quite know what's going on with Poch after those comments. I need to read them in a bit more detail. But yeah, I'm going to go and have something to eat. My leftover chicken and garlic bread from last night and get a coffee as well. Have a lovely weekend, everyone. Hopefully I see you on Twitter, and at 12:31 when Gavardio puts Manchester City 1-0 up after 1 minute, we'll all be here. Celebrating. This was my team for the game week. Good luck, everyone. Have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy the sun if you're in the UK. 2 weeks left. Only 1 week of FPL that you can actually do anything with now. And yeah, have a good one, and I will see you all very soon.